Gorgeously Vintage Atelier. Today I'm making my 12-year-old self dreams come true by making a Pinup Rockabilly style outfit based on first generation Pokemon character Misty and Ash. In this video series I will show you how I made both characters look. The first video will be all about Misty's look and the second will be all about Ash. Those are going to be detailed tutorials on the pattern, dress and shirt making process on those both outfits. I decided to do a Pinup Rockabilly style Pokemon outfits because I'm a huge fan of Pokemon, especially the Generation 1 because I grew up with it and I'm still in my 30s, I'm still obsessed with Pokemon, so I wanted to do something nice for my boyfriend and for myself because I already own a few dresses with Pokemon. This one is an older one that I did for the Pokemon event here in Montreal. But I was so excited with this project. It's actually the embroidery machine that my boyfriend gave me at Christmas that inspired this project to me because I was like, oh my god, I can do so many things with this embroidery machine. What could be great for the first project to do in it? The first thing that we thought it was Pokemon gym badges, some kind of Pokemon embroidery, and we were like, okay, let's go, let's do it. In the second video, I will show you how I made all the Pokemon badges to go on this shirt. I wanted to thank all of you who took the time to leave a comment and let me know what you wanted to see next in my YouTube channel. Be sure that I have all noted your suggestions. Those videos are coming. If you like vintage style sewing, please make sure to like and subscribe. I'm super happy to have you here. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy and let's get ready to sew! Before starting any project, I like to work on my sewing project planning. I like to take notes of all my projects in my sewing journal. It helps me plan and I can refer to my notes in the future if I'm making this project again or using a particular pattern. I like to include the pictures or illustration of my project so I can have a visual reference. Let's find the patterns base that I'm going to use for this project. I was thinking to use some charm patterns for this one, especially the pencil skirt and the blouse. So for the pencil skirt, I will use the Stanwick pencil skirt. For the blouse, I will use the Scoot pattern dress and I will only use the bodice section and elongate the bottom of it so I can tuck the blouse into my skirt. As you can see on the pictures, Misty has blue short with red suspenders and a yellow tank top. So for this particular look, I will use Gertie's Stanwick pencil skirt with strap. It will be the perfect pattern to make the rockabilly version of Misty's outfit. And for the top, I will use the scout dress pattern but only the bodice. In the second video of this series, I will show you how I make the Pokemon gym badges with my new embroidery machine. I also use it for Togeppi and finish the embroidery by hand. Oh my goodness, it's going to be so cute! I can't wait to get started. I always like to trace my sewing pattern on tracing paper. This way I can make any modification right away and it preserves the original pattern for the future.
the Charm Pattern Scout Dress Bodice that I will use to recreate Misty's yellow top. I will simply add some length and width to the bottom of the bodice to make it into a blouse. I am using my French curve ruler to add some curvature to the side seams to accommodate my high hips. I won't make any changes to the dart as this will create some kind of tuck once sewn. Let's get started with the blouse first. I am beginning by clipping all the tucks marked on the pattern as a guide. To bind the keyhole opening, I will be using regular store-bought double fold bias binding. Simply measure around the keyhole to determine how much you need for both sleeves. To sew the bias binding, align the binding to the sleeve keyhole edge right sides together and sew using 1/4 inch seam allowance. As you can see, I am using my seam ripper to help guide the fabric through the sewing machine and making sure that I don't get caught or get some puckers underneath. It can save fingertips or two also, so be careful during this step. It is not mandatory, but I like to clip my seam allowances to 1/8 of an inch to make sure that there's no bulk when I will flip and sew the binding. Once you are done trimming, you can now turn the bias binding over, and since I am using the same colored thread, I don't mind stitching on top of the bias binding even if it's on the right side of my sleeve. But if you want to have a neat finish, you can slip stitch the bias binding by hand. It's now time to create the tucks on both sleeves on both sides. That we are done with the tucks, let's move on to the sleeve bands. So you just need to attach both bands to both sleeves using I like to top stitch them, but you can slip stitch them by hand if you want, but my thread doesn't show, so I don't mind the top stitch. Just be careful to really be straight with your top stitching if you're doing it this way, so it looks neat and pretty and professional. I have gathered both sleeve cap off camera with the 2 rows of gathering stitch, and now that my sleeves are gathered, I will set the sleeves into the bodice by pinning each sleeve into the bodice armhole right sides together. I am matching the underarm seams and the notches, and now you see me gathering a bit more, I'm gathering a bit more to make sure that all the fullness is distributed evenly throughout the sleeve cap. And I have made my sleeves bigger than the pattern because I love big poofy sleeves, as you can already tell if you have watched a few of my videos. So it's basically pretty straightforward, and after that I will sew both sleeves into the armhole. Sorry, I lost the rest of the blouse making footage. So this is the finished blouse. I am super happy of the outcome. I really like the look of the pin tucks. I'm super happy I didn't change the darts configuration. As you see, it gives like some kind of flounce to the blouse, so I'm super happy about that. The sleeves are very poofy, which is perfect. So let me show you the back. It looks super neat and I'm very happy of the outcome. Let's move on to the skirt. I am beginning by attaching the pocket stay to the skirt front, right sides together, and sewing around the pocket edges. Once you are done, clip pocket curves, understitch and press. Let's attach the skirt pockets. This method is really particular to this sewing pattern, so you basically have to attach the skirt pockets to the skirt stay only and then sew them at the side seams along with the back panels of the skirt. Now you see me sewing the pocket to the pocket stay. wish to add a special touch, you can top stitch the pocket curves on the right side of the skirt. Let's move on to sewing the darts on the skirt back panels. Those are regular straight darts, so it's basically straightforward. You sew them as you would sew any darts. I'm pretty used to it, so I don't use pin. I only mark them and sew a straight line from the bottom to the top of the dart. But there's a lot of different methods. Use your preferred one. I am now sewing the center back seam to create the back kick pleat of the skirt. I am making sure that the kick pleats center seam and the skirt center seam are aligned because I will top stitch it on the right side and I don't want it to be crooked. While top stitching, I like to make sure that I don't cut any bunch of fabric underneath my presser foot, so be careful and take your time during this step. Now moving on to sewing the skirt side seam by pinning the skirt front to the skirt back at the side seams and stitching them, and after that we will press the seam allowance open to make sure that we have a smooth curved line around the hips and the legs. Now time for the zipper, the threaded step that every seamstress doesn't like. So I'm using my favorite method. It's basically that I already pressed in advance my zipper opening, and I'm sewing on the right side with the zipper already pinned in place, and I'm making sure that the fabric overlaps a bit on top of the zipper teeth, so this way when you close it, it doesn't show. It's create kind of a lap zipper look. I will show you in a minute what I mean. And it's really a clean finish and you almost don't see the zipper, so I quite like this method. Now that the zipper is done, I have already assembled the straight waistband off camera, and now I will just sandwich the skirt in between the two layers of the waistband and top stitch it. You can do this a few different ways, but if you prefer to have an even cleaner finish, you can stitch only one side and slip stitch by hand the interior of the waistband to the skirt for a clean finish. Let's now move on to constructing the suspender straps. Let's move on to the suspender strap. It's pretty straightforward. I'm sewing both layers right sides together and stitching right through them on a straight stitch along each side of the straps. After that, you only have to cut the excess fabric so you can easily turn them out without no bulk. Now I'm trying and struggling to turn the straps inside out, and it's quite difficult. I'm using a tool, it's like a hook that you can easily grab the point of anything that it's like a tube or something difficult to turn inside out, and you pull it through, and it's supposed to make it easier. And I like to make my points very sharp by using a knitting needle. time to move on to the embroidery. I have, as you can see, I have done the base of Togeppi with my embroidery machine, and unfortunately I lost the footage of that as well. I'm sorry, this was shot with my older camera and then I bought another one, so this problem is solved now. So basically I am filling the rest of the Togeppi with embroidery thread and embroidery needle by hand. I will do the Togeppi shell and all the details on the shell.
That I'm super proud of. It turned out exactly like I pictured it, and I was pretty stressed about it because it was just an idea in my mind and I wasn't sure that it would look great in real life. And I mean, I'm super proud of it. It looks so nice, exactly like I envisioned it, so I'm super happy and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the pattern making process, the shirt making process, and the skirt. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. It will be my pleasure to answer you. The second video in the series about Ash's shirt will be released next week, so be sure to hit the bell to be notified that the video is out, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Au revoir, my dearies! Juliette wanted to